Hi everyone, for tonight's Nightcap in review, I'm having a soda, and tonight I'll be discussing Beauty and the Demon by Aurora Asher. I do have this beautiful physical copy, but I did read the version off of KU. Of course, I'm giving my honest opinion. These are the highlights and the content warnings, and my rating for this book is a 4.5, so what's it about? So this book is about Murmur, the infamous necromancer who is slowly losing his grip on reality. His army of souls likes to scream into his mind, trying to distract him from his plans, but he refuses to be distracted as he only needs one more thing to complete his plan: the blood of Su Yin, a witch that refuses to be anyone's victim. Now, Su Yin has problems of her own as she is not aging. She is having ominous dreams that give her glimpses of her future, and she has a stalker that turns out to be a demon. How does she know? Well, she ends up being kidnapped by him just like her dreams showed her. But it doesn't matter what his plans are for her, as she refuses to make things easy for him. But passions ignite between this demon witch when they are forced together as Murmur's plans near completion, to where now Murmur has a choice to make: choose the destruction that he's built his life upon, or the witch that has ignited the last bit of his soul. So what are my thoughts? Again, I'm giving this a 4.5. Now, this is the fifth book in the series of interconnected standalones, but I would recommend that you at least read books 1 through 4 before you read this one, as in this book, there are a lot of established relationships as well as references to things that happened in the previous books that you might be a little lost if you don't have those for a frame of reference. Those could probably be read in any order, but I do think they need to be read before you read this one. Now, I will say what I really enjoyed about this book was the fact that it was a grumpy situation, as well as there's a giant library. It's basically a tower filled with grimoires, and I just really enjoyed that imagery. Now, going into this book, I will say I was a little apprehensive about Murmur, our male main character, based on what he had done in the previous books, like I said, because you could see how untrustworthy he was, but there was just something about him that made you not write him off completely. So I really enjoyed this book that gave us deeper insight into him, and I don't necessarily think it was necessarily his redemption book. I don't really think he did something that was truly irredeemable, simply because, as this book points out, these are demons that grew souls. We can't treat them as if they're humans. They are truly demons who act like demons. So in that context, he really didn't do anything that was super bad, in my opinion. But I appreciated this book that gave us deeper insight into him and his motivations, which let us really see how smart and crafty he was and how many layers he had. I also really enjoyed this book of how their relationship started. It was a lot of tension that I really enjoyed because he stalked her, he kidnapped her, as well as the fact that she's a witch that hates demons with a passion. So I really enjoyed that tension between the two of them. Now, something else I really enjoyed was that after Murmur had kidnapped and put Suyin in his dungeon, it kind of got the feeling of he doesn't know how to properly take care of a human. And we kind of learned the reasoning for that later on, but he was kind of shocked that he had to do this stuff to keep a human alive. And it got to a point where Suyin had to use her craftiness to negotiate herself out of this situation. So along with them both being incredibly smart and crafty, you also have them bonding over their love and thirst of knowledge. Like, they really bonded over that. Like, Murmur would abandon his plans to pull all these books in the library to sit down next to her and just learn together, and I really enjoyed that. That really made their chemistry grow. Overall, I really enjoyed the characters, and I enjoyed the big reveal of Murmur and his plans that really impact our group of demons, and it makes me super excited for the next book. And I've been excited for that final book based on who that MC is since book 1, but all of Murmur's plans really affect that character, so that means that book is going to be super exciting, and I'm super excited for it. Now, this book and all the other books 1 through 5 are currently available. Some, I'm sure, still have the beautiful sprayed edges in your local bookstores, so definitely take a look if this is a series that you are interested in. I hope everyone has a good night and happy readings.